Hey, what's up, guys? I wanted to kind of shed some light on the offensive line of the Cowboys as it starts to evolve into a nightmare. Now, we found out last night that their starting Pro Bowl center, Travis Fredericks, has a very serious condition that you can see my other video about, which is unfortunate, and hopefully they caught it soon. Either way, expect him to be out probably at least 2, maybe 3 months realistically. So I'm targeting mentally for him probably in November, maybe mid-November would be ideal, best case scenario. And now this, you got to remember that these job is really strenuous. It's hard to appreciate it until you, see what the work that goes in to do, a 60-minute game. Either way, he is going to be sorely missed because of how effective he was. Excuse me. The other guy I wanted to talk about today is Zach Martin, who is the Cowboys guard. And now the issue with right guard in particular, the issue with Zach Martin is he has a knee injury. Well, he left the preseason game with a knee injury, and we found out that there's a couple things going on. One, he has a bone bruise, and two, it was secondary to a hyperextended left knee. So a hyperextended left knee, just think of it kind of going farther than anticipated, and obviously stretching the ligaments and farther than you want to. So usually this is a pretty good prognosis overall. 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes they'll use anti-inflammatory oral, or sometimes we'll do a steroid injection. Not ideal long term, but short term will help. But I think 2 to 3 weeks is very realistic. So that would kind of put him on time for the Panthers in week 1. Good news for that. The bone bruise is going to be a little more of a long-term thing, very painful. This is also what Sam Bradford had last year when he was on the Vikings. They take about a minimum of 6 months to heal, likely even up to a year, year and a half, sometimes longer. So very painful, but he's just going to have to stick it out. There's really not much you can do. And they are really only diagnosed by MRI and not anything less than that, because you just can't see him. Excuse me. So the good news is that Martin should be back. The bad news is that Frederick is not. So they're going to use, it sounds like they're going to use Looney as a fill-in center, and they have a couple other ones, and I believe Williams was struggling a little bit. So either way, obviously this impacts Zeke. I'm super high on Zeke. He would be a top 2, maybe 3 overall pick and overall back for me. It's kind of back and forth between DJ, Zeke, and Bell. I just think they're going to run Bell to the ground, and there's a lot of miles on those knees. Zeke is going to be a beast. They're going to feed him, but now I'm concerned about his line, and he runs a lot through the center, and the center is really important, so you end up losing a little bit more in both guards because the center is not as rock solid as he was in the past couple of years. And then, so that kind of has me leaning David Johnson. And I talked about his injury in a different video, but I'm still concerned because they don't have the best line, and I think they're going to stack the box a lot against him and make Bradford win until he's not healthy anymore. End up causing, make a DJ really work to get anything. But the kid is a beast, so he's probably going to be my number 1 back overall, but I wouldn't blame you if you took Zeke, and I wouldn't blame you if you took Bell, even though I'm a little concerned about Bell just from the wear and tear overall, but no injuries that we know of. So rock and roll. I'm fading Gurley. I think last year was his peak year. He has a lot. They have a lot more weapons this year, and I think they just throw it more. And his yak and stuff like that was just unsustainable in my opinion. I don't want anything to do with Kamara. I don't think he's sustainable. He's never really run over even 120 yards or carries, sorry, in college or the NFL. So that kind of leads me to Saquon and Fournette as my top really 5 running backs, and then from there you start talking about guys who are either not as talented or more of in a committee. But so that's what I have for the Zach Martin update for the Cowboys, and some kind of overall RB thoughts. All right, take care. We'll talk to you soon. Please hit subscribe to the bottom here. Check out my Twitter page for more information and constant streaming data and information. And check out our my fantasy podcast, which is Injuries 101, and my other podcast, which is The Fantasy Doctors. We're taping a new one tonight with a new special guest. This will be about the tight ends. So check that out when it comes out, and then all your injury needs, just head over to thefantasydoctors.com, and there's a bunch of awesome stuff on there. All right, take care.